Loki might have just became one of the most powerful people in the MCU, and we have to talk about it, and I'm going to explain why this might be a problem. Cue the intro.
Warning, the following video you are about to see comes from a geek and nerd who loves Marvel content and anime shows. Over here, we do not hold our tongue about anything and give you the most honest opinion about our chosen video topic. We do things that other content creators don't do. If you want someone like you to dissect said topic, subscribe and join other geeks in this space. While you are at it, leave a like on the video. Enjoy.
Loki episode 5, unlike most people, at first I didn't really see the hype. I still don't really see the hype. Some people are equating it to being Infinity War Endgame level peak MCU. And in my head, I'm like, the recency bias is really crazy with you guys. Y'all was saying that about freaking Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Y'all said it about a lot of stuff, and it doesn't deserve to have that. And the only reason why people are even making that comparison is because at the end of this episode, you have OB, you have Casey, you have Sylvie, you have B13, all of them people, Mobius, you have them disappear similar to what they did in Endgame or Infinity War, excuse me. The reason why this is not even close to being as heartfelt as that is because when that happened in Infinity War, at that time we had no idea what we could do to reverse that. At that point in time, there was nothing we could do. At that point in time, those characters, I will argue, and anyone, if you argue against me, you're lying. Those characters who vanished last time, they have more value, more heartfelt moments than the people who vanished just then in this Loki episode. So that's one thing I want to start off with saying, y'all gotta stop it. Calm the Infinity War Endgame stuff down. Let's see how this ends with episode 6, and maybe I'll compare it to that then. But right now, you have to chill. So leading up to all that, and we're gonna really just speed run through everything that happened, because most of this stuff is simple stuff. This episode, I feel like, was a little long for no reason, but I kind of understand. The Mobius segment when Loki meets Mobius again, try to get Mobius back to the TVA, that needed to be what it was. But as far as everybody else, it didn't really have to be dragged out. We start with Casey. Casey, he's a prisoner in Alcatraz. He's trying to escape. Loki sees him. Basically, boom, that's that. Then we go to the Hunter B13. She's actually in New York in a branch timeline 2012. What happened in 2012 in New York? The Avengers. So we have that going on. But that was a branch timeline, so we don't know if that happened the same way that it played out in the second one. We have all that, and before that, we were seeing Loki basically see what the TVA was like after the time loom kind of just fell into pieces. Now, on the end of episode 4, they made it seem like when the time loom was going to disappear, everything was going to cease to exist immediately. And that's not the case. We soon learned that stuff is disintegrating and dying off at different times, which I find that to be a little interesting to me. He sees the TVA is good at one moment. Then he goes to the time theater. He sees the TVA is breaking down at one moment. Then he goes to the time theater and notices the TVA is not broken down. I believe when he goes to the time theater, he goes to the TVA before all that stuff happened. We're meeting everybody. Casey, boom. B13, boom. What we have to focus on is Sylvie, OB, and Mobius. Now, OB was the most interesting to me because Marvel's writing made it very, very exquisite as to what OB's character was. Or should I say, what was his name? AD? Something. I forgot what his name was. But they made him to where he was mainly a PhD in science. He had a science background, but he also loved science fiction. So when Loki was explaining all this crap that was happening, it didn't seem far-fetched to OB because he's like, okay, I write about this stuff anyway, and I studied this stuff. Okay, it makes sense. So I feel like that was great and integral for him being one of the first people we meet. So he can then basically build the TemPad. He builds the TemPad, and while he's doing that, we visit Mobius. Mobius is having this thing with the jet skis, and as I mentioned, maybe in my last review, I don't really get the whole thing with the jet skis. Maybe it's something out of loop with me. I know Mobius is infatuated with the jet skis, but a lot of people are like, "Ooh, Mobius finally wrote the jet ski," and I'm like, "Okay, great, round of applause, I guess." Yeah, we see Mobius. Mobius goes to Loki. Loki goes to Mobius. Boom. He goes somewhere else after that. Then he goes back to Mobius. The second time he goes to Mobius, Mobius is definitely seems a little threatened by Loki, which I understand. And also on Twitter, some people are a little weird. Why are y'all trying to make it seem like Loki and Mobius are trying to be with each other? Y'all are weird. I've been seeing that on Twitter. No, nothing wrong with that, but how do y'all get that out of these episodes? I'm not understanding. Like I said, nothing wrong with if that was a thing, it would be nothing wrong with that. But it seems like y'all are just grasping for straws for that. Anyway, but yeah, so we see that. Then we move on. We move on towards Sylvie, and I might be skipping some stuff. I'm bouncing around. We're moving towards Sylvie, and Sylvie is still stubborn. For whatever reason, Sylvie is able to still remember that the TVA is gone, but she's made peace with it because she went back to her life. But the moment her timeline starting to branch, that's when she realized, oh crap, I need to go back and look with Loki so he can save everything. I don't like Sylvie's character. Her character has really been terrible this season. Season 1, it was a little better, but right now, she's not really, she's not down. I'm waiting for her to redeem herself. Maybe we see that in the episode 6, but right now, man, I'm not feeling it. We get the whole gang back together, and this episode was mainly focused on friendship, love, unity, all of that stuff. Because if you think back to how Loki was the exact opposite of everything I just named. But for whatever reason, he's transitioned, and now he wants to have friends. He doesn't want to be alone. He wants to save everybody. He's had growth. But I still, as I've said before, I just feel like this growth has happened in a short span of time. Whereas we take someone like Tony Stark, his growth happened it took him a long time to get that growth. And I'm not saying it should have taken Loki that same amount of time either, but because everybody grows at different speeds. But I don't know, that's something interesting to me that I've been noticing. So am I still convinced about Loki? No, I'm not. I still think he has his own. They get together and we find out that time slipping is one of the things that's been brought back up. Time slipping. Loki's trying to figure out how to control it because that's really his only thing to combat He Who Remains. And OB makes a great point is Loki is basically a Tempad or higher grade Tempad. Because now, however, he can move through space and through time, which technically will already make him, as far as a time standpoint, would already make him more powerful than He Who Remains off that alone. I don't know. In the end, he figures it out when everything's starting to wipe out, and he time slips back. It looks like he goes back before the loom is finna be disrupted. So I'm assuming episode 6 is finna be where he's going back and forth, and we're seeing him trying to fix the loom, trying to figure out what solves the problem. And this is probably gonna be this review isn't gonna really be that long. But this is where I bring it back to the point of Loki probably the best powerful person. The reason why He Who Remains and Kang was so powerful was because he had technology that allowed him to go in the past, the future, and conquer a world. Loki, it's already been proven that magic is better than technology. That's one. Loki has magic, and he has the ability to go between time and space, similar to He Who Remains. But it seems like He Who Remains, when he was doing it in the end of Loki season 1, episode 6, it was kind of fixed, where he had to pre-program it to do this and do that. He hits a button and it moves, where he, you know what I'm saying, because he already wrote everything out. But it seems like we're going to get a Loki Who Remains, or Loki God of Stories, where he will be going back and writing everything and making everything to where it should be, or where he think it should be. And that's why I think it's a problem, because it's like, I don't really think Loki has had that growth to where he'll actually, instead of making himself lose in the first Avengers, he wins, you know. But we have to figure out what's going to happen in this next episode. This episode was good. I'm probably going to do an episode ranking after episode 6, once all the hype dies down, maybe like a week or so after 6, and do a ranking of where I got each episode. But I can tell y'all now, right now it's 3-1. I'll say it's 3-1, 4, 5, and 2. I'll say it like that for me. So that's it for me, you guys. Oh, I appreciate the love. My video that I posted, what was it, yesterday? It has 1,000. It's like 1.3 right now. I thank you for if you're new, sub up for one. Sub up, like the video, comment. I'm trying to get it to where I'm having more comments, because I want to discuss with you guys this type of stuff. I don't want to just be, talking just to talk. Yeah, I appreciate all the love I got on that video. It was unexpected for one. But yeah. If you love the video, like the video. Don't love the video, so let the video. I'm on the road to 200 subscribers. I appreciate everything y'all are doing for me. And y'all have a great day. Share my content, share my videos, and I'm out. Peace.